Theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking had said that we need to colonize space as a backup for the human race. He argued that there would certainly be a worldwide disaster that would bring the human era to an end within the next 1,000 years. With issues such as climate change and potential nuclear fallout confronting the global community, the prospects of Earth becoming uninhabitable for human life is being considered more seriously. After Venus, Mars is the closest planet to Earth, which makes it an obvious candidate for human colonization. In 2018, scientists detected a large saltwater lake under a sheet of ice on Mars, and in September of this year, they found 3 more bodies of water close by. Although much work still needs to be done, such as finding a way to collect this water, sending humans to inhabit Mars is becoming more and more possible. Even if these technical challenges are overcome, the potential colonization of Mars presents many other types of issues. There are biomedical issues, such as the exposure to radiation and muscle mass loss during the long voyage. There could be psychological, sociological, and physiological human issues experienced by those migrating to Mars. And lastly, there are ethical, logistical, and financial issues that would have to be dealt with for the colonization of Mars to be successful. So, how did we get here, and when did we start our journey to space exploration? Well, it wasn't that long ago. Humanity's exploration of space started during the Cold War when the United States and the Soviet Union raced to be the first country to have a presence in space. This saw the launch of the first artificial satellite into space in the 1950s, followed by the first moon landing in 1969. This period also saw the start of humanity's exploration of Mars. Mars 2 and Mars 3, launched by the Soviet Union, were the first missions attempting to land on the planet in May of 1971. The first of which failed, and the second was only in operation for 20 seconds on the surface of Mars before failing. However, 5 years later, it was Viking 1 and Viking 2, launched by the United States in the summer of 1976, that were the first successful missions on Mars, which combined returned more than 50,000 photos to Earth. Since then, there have been several successful missions to Mars, which also include other countries such as India, China, and the EU. There have already been 6 new missions that were launched to Mars in 2020, with at least 6 more missions planned in upcoming years. In the last decade, NASA has announced they are planning on sending humans to Mars by the 2030s, and SpaceX, a private space exploration company owned by billionaire Elon Musk, said they would start manned missions to Mars by 2025.
There are certainly a lot of benefits to space exploration. One of them being it helps us understand more about the universe and our existence. It helps us also to see what are the future options for human settlements. Stephen Hawking argues that while the human race could become extinct at any point, if we're able to colonize other planets like Mars, we may be able to survive apocalyptic catastrophes at any point. Additionally, space exploration also drives innovation as well as the economy. It spends around $25 billion and employs up to 18,000 high-skilled workers, including engineers and scientists. This accumulation of intellectual resources have actually led to the development of technologies such as the internet broadcasting system, camera phones, portable computers, the GPS, and the list goes on. Of course, space exploration also is a cause to unite people across the world, make us see ourselves as humans first, and promote international cooperation. On the other hand, there's also a lot of controversies around space exploration. One of them being the opportunity cost in terms of if we didn't spend billions of dollars on space exploration, what could we actually be doing instead? Compare the $25 billion that is the cost to end hunger in America to the $20 billion that they're actually spending on NASA. There's also other risks to consider in terms of what will extraterrestrial beings, if there are such things, look like? Will they actually potentially want to colonize Earth by any chance? There's also risk of back contaminations from bringing stuff back to Earth. There's also ethical issues to consider in terms of if we're already ruining our planet as such, what right do we have to go explore other planets and disturb their systems? There's also ownership issues. So there has been international treaties to prohibit space ownership by any one nation. It does beg the question of who's going to be responsible once we actually do land on Mars. So there's definitely both pros and cons to space exploration, looking either way.
The media provides abstractions as to whether private sector space exploration companies, such as SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk, have a positive impact on NASA. An article from CNBC by Tom Huddleston agrees, stating that SpaceX is reducing the cost of launches with its innovative development of reusable rockets, and claiming that NASA welcomes the rise of the private sector industry as it allows them to buy seats for their astronauts on other companies' rockets instead of building their own. The article even claims that SpaceX made NASA cool again by generating interest in space exploration. For example, when SpaceX decided to launch a Tesla car into space, they generated positive interest on social media, with users posting countdowns to the launch, jokes, and one teacher posting that she watched the launch live with her students and thanked Elon Musk for inspiring the next generation. However, this does raise questions about the disadvantages that the private sector can have on future space travel, as it is driven by money. Some people have argued that the launch was a publicity stunt aimed to advertise and drive sales for Tesla, another company founded by Elon Musk. And one news article from The Business of Business by Benjamin Chertoff states that Elon Musk's Tesla launch in space may have started the dawn of an advertising space age. A trend of space advertising could lead to negative publicity, with the public seeing that space technology is being used to fuel private sector profit rather than making advances in space exploration. And according to an article by The Conversation by Wendy Whitman-Cobb, the private sector has produced negative publicity for NASA in the past when Elon Musk was seen smoking marijuana on a live podcast interview, forcing NASA to initiate a safety review of SpaceX and causing some social media users to criticize Elon Musk for setting back SpaceX and NASA's goal to colonize Mars. According to an article by Hornek G, the next logical steps is the start of human exploratory missions to the Moon and Mars. Although NASA has already sent astronauts to the Moon in 1969, they plan on sending astronauts there again by 2024 to provide a ground to test technologies and resources that will potentially take humans to Mars and beyond, including building a sustainable, reusable architecture.